and women.
Yeah, one of the things that we always understood about Jason, and we never got to explore it, was that one of the reasons that he was a more successful hoe than Thomas Jane's character was because Jason did dudes. And that's it. Did I just say that? That was a part of the character that we never got to explore, and I'm sad that we didn't. I was overall, I was sad that Hung got canceled. I mean, that was a great show run by great people and good ratings, and unfortunately, not to like pull the curtain too far back, but I don't think that half-hour comedies are what moves the meter at HBO. Game of Thrones is what moves the meter at HBO. They're hour-long dramas, so it got canceled, but I got Arrow. So, from there forward, I'm just gonna run like Misha Collins is waiting at the finish line.
Let's go to the next question. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. First, can I have a high five, please?
Yeah.
My question is, which scene did you enjoy the most this season?
Which what?
Which scene? Which scene?
Scene. This is gonna sound a little weird, but I really enjoyed Moira's death scene. If you're getting spoiled, you're at the wrong panel. So Moira dies in season 2. Susanna Thompson, who's actually a native from San Diego. Yeah, absolutely. It was my favorite scene because it was very creatively satisfying to set up this character and to feel that sort of loss after, at that point, 43 episodes. That was incredibly satisfying for me as an actor. I didn't like it. I liked when it was over, but I actually think that our 20th episode last year, the episode where Moira dies, is the best work that we've done. So for that reason, it was my favorite scene.
Hi. I wanted to ask, because I'm a huge Felicity Oliver shipper, what's your favorite scene that you have shot between Oliver and Felicity?
The scene in the premiere. Not counting that because you haven't seen it. The very first scene that we shot, which we reference in the premiere this year. As a little bit of a longer answer, as the lead on a show, it was always incredibly important to me to be welcoming and to be nurturing for our guest cast. And Emily was my first guest star. Like, we didn't really have one in the second half. Well, we had a guy that I threatened, but that didn't really count. Emily was our first real guest star. And so I remember we shot on a Friday in a building in Vancouver, and she and I had like 20 minutes in the cast room beforehand. And I wanted to get to know her because I thought back to when I did Private Practice, and Amy Brenneman, who also dated Tom Welling before he did Smallville on her show Judging Amy. She's like, I nurture superheroes on television. The first scene that we ever had to shoot together was a really intimate date scene. And she was so lovely and so welcoming, and it made my job so much easier. So I had that same thought, and I still have that same thought when it comes to guest stars on our show. So for that reason, the first scene between Emily and I is my favorite.
Hi, I'm Russ. First off, I want to say a huge fan of you, and I also love how your Facebook, how you constantly update it, and you're the one running it. I think that's really awesome.
Thanks, man.
My question is, if you could pick any supervillain ever, who would you play?
The Riddler. I think I actually said that to Jeff Johns at like 2 o'clock in the morning Saturday. Hey, Jeff, I want to play the Riddler. That actually happened. The Riddler. That's an awesome villain, and it hasn't been in the modern, well, I guess post turn of the century versions of Batman. So that would be cool.
Who's next? Right over here.
Hi,
Hey.
my name's Shannon, and I was wondering if, first of all, you could say hi to my sister Kenzie, who couldn't be here.
Well, hi, Kenzie, that couldn't be here.
Thank you. And my question is, I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget it. One of my favorite things about the DC universe and the show is how strong the women are, how strong they're portrayed. I was wondering if you think there's any chance we'll see the Birds of Prey, like Batgirl, all that stuff, united on the show.
I don't know about Batgirl, but I do know that the writers on the show, if they were to have a favorite moment collectively from season 2, it was that episode 16 was called The Suicide Squad, episode 17 was called Birds of Prey, and episode 18 was called Deathstroke. That sort of holy trinity was really important to them. And I thought that we really graduated Jessica Gal's Huntress character in episode 17 last year. Like, it wasn't particularly interesting her having this vendetta against her father. So now her father's dead, spoiler alert, and am I doing that right?
Sure.
I think that she will come back, and look, Birds of Prey, awesome. I hope that, like, hey, Birds of Prey, take a couple of episodes. Let me go on vacation. That'd be awesome.
I actually have a few Facebook questions here.
Okay.
From the Nerd Machine Facebook page. Marion wants to know if you would ever consider writing an entire episode of Arrow.
I wouldn't consider writing one, but I'd consider directing one. Yeah. Big time.
Who's got the next question in the audience? Right there.
Hello.
Hi.
I was wondering, I know you do a lot of physical preparation for your role. What kind of things do you do to mentally prepare for Oliver?
So, it's really interesting. When we're filming, it's so busy that I try not to look too far ahead. So, I tend to get a script maybe 10 to 15 days before we start shooting. And it'll be an early version of the script. And I'll read it, and then I'll wait for the next version, and I'll read that, and then I'll get the production version, and I'll read that 2 or 3 times. And then from there, it's hands off. I just show up. I know where Oliver is in his story, in his journey, be it the present day or the flashbacks. I'm not a big line memorizer. I like to know what the scene is about, and then if the writing is good, and it is, then the words just take care of themselves.
Good answer. I never read my...
What's your preparation like, Zach?
I just show up and be. I mean, it basically was Chuck, so I didn't have to do a lot of preparation. Who's got the next question? Right here.
Hi.
Hey.
First of all, thank you so much for being here and being here so early on a Sunday, the last
I gotta
day
say,
of Comic-Con.
I was absolutely petrified of sleeping in this morning. I had an alarm clock. I had Zach's volunteers banging on my door at 8 o'clock in case I slept in. I had my manager. I made it.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm going to pass out as soon as this panel's over, by the way. Okay, what's your question?
Secondly, well, my friend has an Arrow shirt that I want you to see. She just got it here at Comic-Con.
That's really cool. I saw that. That's really cool fan art. Very nice.
It's by an artist named Jason Palmer, if you want to look him up.
Very cool.
And my question is, you work so hard and your stunts are so intense for the show and you do a lot of training. What do you do to relax and have fun when you're not working to kind of decompress?
I hang with Jared Padalecki, pretty much. No. I actually visited Jared in Austin over the break, and his guest house is the nicest house that I've ever stayed in. No, when it comes time to relax, what do I like to do? I like to watch sports. I like to watch football. Football Sundays are sacred to me. And go Chargers. I feel like maybe you guys have a moment this year. I'm not sure. You never know in the NFL. Phil Rivers is due. I like to watch football, and now it's totally different because now I get to hang with my daughter, and she's like super cool and interesting, and apparently a vegetarian, which is weird, but this hiatus was really good. The hiatus after our first season. I got sick because I was worn down. I got walking pneumonia. Awful. Which I realized when I went to China and I tried to take a deep breath and I started wheezing. But this year during hiatus, I was actually supposed to work. I had a film that was ready to go and it fell apart at the last minute. And then I had another film that was ready to go and it fell apart at the last minute. And so I was like, fuck this. I'm taking a vacation. Pardon me. And so we went to, where'd we go? We went to Palm Springs, we went to Sedona, we went to Austin, we relaxed, and it was really nice.
Yeah, yes. Clap for vacation.
Who's got the next one? Right over here.
Morning. So it was mentioned several times before that you're very active on Facebook and Twitter, etc. Is it something that you feel is important for an artist to always be able to be connected to their fans? And do you find it more difficult now that you're becoming bigger to kind of stay on that same level?
I don't find it. That was a two-part question. I'm not gonna judge anybody that is an actor in 2014 that is not present on social media concurrently. What's wrong with you if you're not? But I actually thought that it would... I contradicted myself just there, didn't I? I actually thought that it would be a little bit more difficult as my page grew. And what I've actually found is that, now I have almost 2.5 million friends on Facebook, and it's become easier. Because when something's important, when someone makes a good comment, when someone creates good fan art, it bubbles to the top. And I can see it. And, being connected to the fan base makes our 190-day, 23-episode shoot easier. When you're on a rooftop at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's raining and your archery coach is yelling at you to lift your elbow. Seeing people enjoy the show and having a connection to the fan base that way fills you up. So I'm always going to do that.
Right over on the right.
Good morning. Hey. My name's Michelle, and when you were in Phoenix recently, you got to take your daughter to her first baseball game, which I thought was really cool. My question for you is, what kids movie are you really excited to show your daughter? And Zach's a big Disney nerd, so might earn some extra points if it's a Disney movie.
Is Die Hard a Disney movie? Die Hard's a Christmas movie. And the best Christmas movie. And Alan Rickman is my choice guest star on Arrow, should it ever happen. How did we get here? What was the question? Kids movies. What I feel like we should do with iTunes nowadays is we should just sort of go back to like early. I should basically get to relive the way that I watched kids' movies